What's good? It's your boy Tall Yoda with another episode of Tall's Corner. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Today we are going over the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar birthday numbers. GNX versus Iceman versus Maid of Honor versus Habiti. We all of that. You know what I'm saying? We're going all over all the numbers. We're just gonna get right into it right here. We're gonna start with Kendrick Lamar. For GNX, over the first 7 hours, all right? 44 million first day streams on the global Spotify chart. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to look over, bro. Nothing to downplay. 44 M's in 7 hours, that's saying something, bro. The first day, overall, 74 million Spotify streams, bro, for GNX. Kendrick Lamar's new album, GNX, stormed the music industry by setting an impressive streaming milestone on Spotify. The album earned a staggering 74 million streams globally in its first full day, November 23rd. After an equally remarkable 44.2 million streams in its just first 7 hours on November 22nd, this nails down Kendrick's position as one of the most influential artists of his generation. For 2024. Let's just put that into the, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to add that into their Yahoo Entertainment article right there. Overall, once again, we see 74 M's for Spotify, Apple Music, fastest rap album to reach number one in the US in 2024, doing so in just 4.5 hours. US track dominance claimed all top 5 spots on the US Hot 100 within its first week. The first week totals for GNX, 319K. Big numbers. Big numbers. Nobody's hitting that in 2024, the last couple of years. So, you know what I'm saying? Credit due where credit's deserved. 319K. You can't overlook that. Peer sells 32K digital copies for Kendrick Lamar GNX. Streams overall for the first week for GNX. 379.72 million on-demand official streams. And that's the official count from Billboard. And let's see. So overall, Kendrick wasn't doing no small numbers, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're not even about to act like 74 million streams is what everybody's doing when they drop their album on Spotify. Or claiming all top 5 spots on the US, Hot 100. Nobody's really doing that right now. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was doing that in 2024 either. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give him credit for that. However, let's look at these Drake numbers real quick. Let's look what the Iceman did real quick. When we look at let's see. Let me make sure you guys can see this real quick. Let me transition it real quick. When we look at the Drake's Iceman, Maid of Honor, and Habiti albums, it's a blockbuster first week just for the sales projections. And I'm going to show you why these are very accurate when I show you these numbers. They're already saying it's projected for at least 500,000 equivalent units. And then when you break down streams, because they break down units and equivalent units, when they're saying the equivalent units, they're taking those streaming numbers, and I think it's every 2,500 streams equivalent is the equivalent to about one album sale. So you can do the math on that right there. Let's see. Maid of Honor, Habiti. You know what I'm saying? He got 3 different albums right now. I know this is a Drake versus Kendrick, versus GNX. But I'm going to break it down for you on each one. So, don't worry on that. They did have to update the Spotify story for one of his numbers. That at first Spotify was saying he broke the record and did this and that and everything like that. However, they had to do a recount on that. But they did stand on business when they said Drake continues to hold the record for the most streamed artist and album in a single day in 2026. Which, easy. When you see these numbers, easy to say that. We apologize for the error and have implemented updated review procedures to prevent similar issues in the future. Blah, 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 blah. Someone got their ass fired, basically. When we look at these first day breakdowns, they said, okay, maybe it wasn't exactly the 140.7, but it came down, I think, to 140.2 million streams for Iceman. That's double what your boy was doing over here with GNX. 74 million Spotify streams on the first full day. Even if they took down or it came down to where they miscounted, I don't know, 20 million streams, he's still lapped, bro, with just Iceman. So this isn't all three albums just grouped together and they're saying, okay, you know what I'm saying? This is what all together. No. Iceman did 140. Maid of Honor only did 29.1. That's still behind GNX for the first day Spotify streams. If we're counting number versus numbers. You know what I'm saying? Habidi only did 27.7 million. Still below Kendrick Lamar's GNX for 74 million on Spotify streams. However, when you look at the Iceman album, bro, and you see all these features, you got feature and him reconnecting back on tracks. You got even Drake putting new artists on, like Molly said. I never heard of no Molly Santana or anything like that. However, they said her Spotify numbers jumped from, I think it was about 300K to 7.3 million in just a day of this album coming out. Someone said she's definitely feeding and eating off of that Drake stimulus pack. And I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, when you go from 300K Spotify, you doing your thing and everything like that, but then you jump to 7.3 million, bro, that's a stimmy pack. That's a stimmy. That's the Drake stimmy pack right there. You can't be mad at that right there. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up for you. Molly Santana numbers Spotify. This is crazy. Let me show you what that Drake stimmy pack's still doing. She's at, bro, 10.6 million. That's another 3 million from what I was just talking about. Let me see if anybody yeah. She's going up right now. She only had like 300K. Oh, actually, she went from 500K, excuse me, 568K monthly listeners overnight following the album release. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then to 10.6 million. And you think about it, if you could think back when this whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef started, and everybody's talking about, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna pass on this Drake verse, or it was rumors on blogs talking about people talking about, you know, I don't really want to get in between it or pick sides and everything. I think it's too late. I think it's very much too late, bro, because that Drake stimmy pack is still in effect. You see how it's still in effect for just Molly Santana right here. And I know everybody else's numbers is going up just for even tapping in with the Iceman on this. However, you know, you still got your normal Drake haters. You know, people still hating in the Reddit comments. I think someone says, you know, they're going back to the, you know, the Kendrick Lamar disses. Is the MJ Glove Drake's way of deeming himself greatest of all time or something? I mean, when you hit 140 million on Spotify, you got to give him credit for something, man. You know what I'm saying? You can hate all you want. But overall, first day numbers so far, you know, it's still unofficial. You know, they're going back and forth. It's not looking good when you comparing Iceman to GNX. Now, I'm not going to lie. Habidi, Maid of Honor, as you can see, they're not doing so good on the, you know, the first day numbers. But, you know, 29.1 million streams for Maid of Honor, 27.7 for Habidi. However, you know what I'm saying? This is still first day numbers. This can take off, you know, just as well as the Iceman is doing. You know, once people get tired of going through Iceman, they might just start boosting up Maid of Honor and Habidi. You never know. You never know. And this, I think it's a great plan, a great rollout. You know, some people are also saying this is his way of getting out of the deal with UMG, just giving out all these albums. However, the numbers, the notoriety, and the rollout, you know what I'm saying? It don't just feel like he really just threw everything out. You know what I'm saying? If he really threw everything out, why would he go through the I structure in Canada? You know what I'm saying? The cinematic music videos. I don't know if you saw some of these music videos, but these music videos he put out for this album, fire. Fire. I can't play right. I don't want to do the whole copyright thing and everything, but go check it out for yourself if you got time. Top top tier, you know what I'm saying, video quality production on these music videos. So you can't even hate on that. You know what I'm saying? So overall, it's gonna be very interesting to see how these first week numbers roll out, you know, as a whole. And once again, we're gonna, you know, once those come out, we're gonna go back and we're gonna do another episode on this and do first week numbers compared to which ones, and you know, see if Maid of Honor and Habiti are gonna, you know, step up or you know fall compared to GNX. You know what I'm saying? So far, Iceman is the one doing it though. Iceman is the album giving it to GNX right now. You can hate if you want, but the numbers is there. You know what I'm saying? Drop it in the comments if you feel away. And you know, this is Tall Yoda with another episode of Tall's Corner. So make sure you tap in. We got more episodes on the way. See ya later. We out.